I think that both of us, as we do these cases, we're constantly seeing things that we feel are important and we want to get out to you. So, Shannon, you want to start?
Sure. I think the main thing that I want to tell veterans, the ones that I represent and the ones that I don't, a lot of times I'm asked, should I wait until this is done and then file that, or is it going to hurt me to file all these things together? If you wait to file something, you're putting your effective date back. If you file everything now, then you get the earliest possible effective date. So I always almost, I mean, I can't think of an exception off the top of my head that I would tell you, yes, wait until this is done and then do that. It's almost always the best idea to go ahead and file all of your claims as soon as you know about them and get them on the record. Even if you don't think you can win them, just go ahead and file it now, and get the process started.
And even if they're cases like hypertension, which has caused chronic kidney disease, file for the chronic kidney disease. That's a problem
Right.
we're seeing. We're seeing
Right.
people get, like the person that asked us, a 0%, which is pretty usual for hypertension. And then we say, what about the chronic kidney disease? And the VA says, well, you didn't file for it. So then you go back and then you have to fight on the effective date. So file for everything. My thing is special monthly compensation. Special, okay, so 100% for a veteran is around, a veteran alone is around $3,600. Okay. Some veterans, and I'm saying this correctly, some veterans get $10,345 a month alone, just for them. And that's under special monthly compensation. The VA is not going to tell you about that. They're not going to help you with that. But it is one of the most important sets of laws for veterans out there. And none of my veterans are filing for it unless it's aid and attendance. Okay. So there are, there are a number of SMCs, and I urge you to look under special monthly compensation, and they will list the ones that are there for you. But I just want to talk about a few. One is aid and attendance. That means that if you need someone to help you with your activities of daily living because of a service-connected problem, then you should be getting aid and attendance, which is around $1,000 more a month. Okay. Now, the aid and attendance used to be an inferred claim. That meant that the VA, when they saw you needed it, should evaluate it. They never did. But now it's not inferred anymore. You have to file for it. And the effective date starts the date after you filed and or were entitled to it, whichever is later. So if there's certain veterans that I know are going to need aid and attendance, if you have peripheral neuropathy, or diabetes, you're going to have peripheral neuropathy. If you have Parkinson's, if you have MS, there are just so many diseases that are going to end up, unfortunately, having a great impact on your ability to do things like take pills out of a box, put the pill in your mouth, cut your food up. If you have one of these diseases, you should already be filing for aid and attendance, and there are an SMC called loss of use of feet and loss of use of hands. This does not mean that you don't have your hands or your feet anymore, but what you have lost is the basic premise of your feet. And what is that? To balance, to be able to balance and push off. I see so many veterans that continue to fall all the time, breaking shoulders, getting concussions. They have lost the ability to balance. They should have filed for loss of use of feet. The other is loss of use of hands. If you have numbness and you can't pick up pills, if you can't pick up a coin, if you can't button, you have loss of use of hands. And these SMCs are the ones that were going to get you up to close to $10,000 a month. The VA hates these claims. They don't want to pay the money, and they're going to fight you tooth and nail. You're not going to win at the regional office except for, I don't know, a miracle. So you need to start these claims right away so that when you get to the board, uh, you can get these benefits without not filing and then starting later after you're aware of all these problems. For things like loss of use of feet, loss of use of hands, they are still inferred claims, and the effective date is when the claim arose, when it was clear from the records that you were entitled to this. But don't count on the VA to give you that. They like looking at the date you filed the claim. So once again, file now. If you have these diseases, file now. Any others you can think of, Shannon, that we run into all the time?
Um, the only special monthly compensation that pops into my mind is one that I see so much is the S. And
Yes.
that's if you have 100% disability and you have others that add up to 60, it's SMC-S. So
Yeah.
sometimes, and that 100 can be due to unemployability. If that unemployability, so if you have PTSD that's 70% rated, but you're unemployable due to the PTSD, then your 100% is for the PTSD. And if you have other orthopedic conditions or something that add up to 60, then you're entitled to that special monthly compensation. A lot of times the VA gets that one right, but
Not unless you have 100% scheduler. I
yeah,
have yet, yeah.
right, that, yeah, if you have the TDIU, they will say, well, it's based on all of your disabilities, and you kind of have to prove to them, no, it was based on just this one. So it's something to keep in mind when you're working on unemployability. If you can base it on just one condition, that might down the road get you more.
Right. So we have told our clients and you that a vocational report is really important. It shows why you can't work. So if you have 100% for PTSD, like Shannon said, make sure the vocational report only talks about that and
Right.
does not include the other issues. And that way you have grounds for appeal when they don't give you SMC-S. I have yet to see them. When you have TDIU, they're not going to look for S. When you have 100% scheduler, yes, sometimes. So you have to file an appeal saying that the failure to maximize benefits, okay, failure to consider all the favorable, failure to assist in that you didn't give me an exam to see if the PTSD alone causes my unemployability. Don't miss these benefits. And SMC is like a stepping stone. You get one, and that helps you get another one. So don't think that the extra $300 or $500 a month is not really important for other ways as well. So that's our tip for this week.